Hey Sneakies, welcome back for some more Warframe. In this episode we're going to see the introduction of the Synapse primary weapon. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy, also subscribe for more videos in the future, and here we go. The blueprint is located in the Clan Dojo research labs. There are some pretty hefty requirements including 5 mutagen masses, 30,000 salvage, and 2 formas. The circuits really aren't a big deal though. Ash is going to be our Warframe of choice in its first episode. One thing that immediately stands out though is it looks really cool, so I can't wait to try it out just for that fact alone. I've never personally used it. I know I've seen a lot of people use it though, so I assume it has to be at least a decent gun. And hopefully in this first episode we're going to find out, at least when you first acquire it, how good it is, how much potential it shows anyway. Before we do that though, we're going to take a quick look to see what polarity icons it has on it. Sadly, it does not have any on it by default. However, we can change that later on with formas after it reaches the max rank. We'll get into that later in the series though, not in this episode. And it uses electricity damage primarily. However, I'm sure we can change it around with some of the elemental mods, and we can give it different effects so it's more effective against certain factions. We even have 3 different loadouts we can set up with A, B, and C at the top, as you can see. Anyways, let's finally get into this mission and test this out. And we're heading back to Ishtar, located on Venus. It's a capture mission controlled by the Corpus faction. Their levels range from 8 to 9. That means that the Synapse will definitely have its work cut out for it, considering it's an unranked weapon right now. However, that's not going to stop it from tearing through their faces. Let's go get them. Infiltrated, here we go.
We have multiple targets of interest for this mission. Bring them all to me.
Alright, so it looks like it's the type of weapon you have to actually hold down the trigger to send a constant beam of electricity. I'm on to you.
They spotted you. Get ready for a fight.
Now, considering it deals primarily electricity damage, that means it's especially effective against the Corpus faction here. And that's because their primary form of defense is their shields, and that's the type of elemental damage that tears right through it. Makes them vulnerable to actual damage.
These are high-value targets. Their capture is crucial.
Oh damn, Ash is not off to a great start here. You gotta go invisible so he can recharge your shields. Bust out the Nikana. Oh no! Oh, was that my sword that accidentally cut that window open? Alright, so when this happens to happen on a Corpus mission, you have to go over and hack the security terminal to get things back to normal. Your health will continue to deteriorate, so you have to get on it pretty quickly. I mean, you do have a pretty good amount of time, but you have to deal with the enemies in here too, so keep that in mind. They give you a pretty good amount of time considering how much health you have. That's what you really have to take into consideration in that circumstance. And it's that simple. Now, if you're not familiar with capture missions, basically there are 2 special enemies on this mission that we have to go and basically kill them so that they get knocked on the ground. Then we capture them kind of like a Pokemon or a Ghostbuster style. They typically like to scream in like agony or something too while it's happening because they know that they're being kidnapped.
You found the target. Capture them quickly before they escape.
Makes me feel like a big man when I do it. Here's one right here. They typically either bust out the smoke screen like that guy did, or they'll like pound the ground and knock you down. It's pretty easy to catch up to them, and you can even jump in the air and slam down your melee weapon and knock them down. Now we're going to take care of all these enemies because you are vulnerable while you're actually capturing them, as you can see.
Target apprehended. Keep hunting.
There are usually 2, and as of the current update and since the game came out, as far as I know, it's always been the case that you only need to actually capture 1. I'm sure that's going to change later on, or there might be some perk to capturing 2. Currently, that is not the case though. And if you're trying to locate them, they're on the mini-map on the top left-hand corner of the screen. That's what those red boxes are. Okay, we're up on the next guy already.
Target located. Bring them in.
That smoke screen is actually pretty effective. If it stayed active longer, he probably would have got away. Not really, but It would have given him a better chance.
Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive back at base. Your part is done here, Tenno. Walkers incoming.
Synapse ranked up to level 1. Ideally it would be higher by now, but that's alright. So now that we've captured both targets, we're going to try to get out of here immediately. Oh yes, we got some oxygen from the Oxymoth spray. So I have to say, so far the Synapse shows some promise. I think it definitely needs to be ranked up a lot more though. Definitely needs some more mods so it's especially effective. But at least against the Corpus, I imagine it's going to be an effective weapon. However, these types of weapons where you have to hold down the trigger and it sends out like the beam of energy like this one does, they're not really my ideal choice, so I'm not really going to use it very likely too much in this series. It's really not my style. My personal favorite are always the original types of weapons. Like something with a unique kind of style to it, doesn't really represent anything else. It just feels like its own weapon. There are definitely some like that in the game. Like I know the miter, I can't wait to get that. I think that shoots out like saw blades. Sounds badass. Anyways, this is the extraction, so we're finally out of there.
Mission complete. The captive has been escorted to the extraction point. Well done.
Unfortunately, it's going to stay at rank 1. Usually it goes up to rank 2 in most of these weapon intros. Oh well, we'll get him next time. And we've now arrived back to our ship. Quick look at the after stats in case you're curious what we collected during that mission. Got a few mods, nothing great. And a quick look at the stats. Alright, so my initial reaction to the Synapse is it doesn't immediately stand out as a weapon that I know will be great in the future. Like some weapons you just know right away, like it just gives you really awesome feeling, like you know it's going to tear through enemies like crazy. Like the Penta, for example, or the Bolt or Prime or something like that. But based on some of the other people I play with and seeing them use it to great effect, I definitely think it does have potential, so it's worth sticking with to at least check it out at the max rank. And it's especially true because this one guy that I randomly played with a few times from recruiting chat, he's not even a subscriber, just randomly somebody I found on the game. We were farming Oxymoth sprays a few times and he was just tearing through them like crazy. In fact, he helped me get a huge chunk of the 600 Oxium that's required to build Zephyr. That ridiculous amount of Oxium. Anyway, Sneakies, I do hope you enjoyed. Remember, leave a like if you did, subscribe for more videos in the future, and I will see you next time.